What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Patrick here. Moving on to an example, still dealing with transformations of quadratics. So what we have to do is we have to find the equation for each set of transformations on the base function y equals x squared. And we're given two different scenarios here. So notice we're given the descriptions of the transformations. So in part A, we're told there's a vertical stretch by 2, and then x squared is translated 3 units to the right and then 1 unit up. And then in part B, there's a vertical compression by 1/3. It's reflected in the x-axis and translated 1 unit to the left. Now, just as a quick review, when we take x squared and then we transform it, what is going to be the general equation? It's going to be this right there. And so really, our equations are going to be in this format. And so what we have to do is we just have to get the transformation values for each of these scenarios here. And then once we have these, we could just plug them into this general format. So let's start off with part A. We're told there's a vertical stretch by 2. So let's go through these one by one. A vertical stretch by 2, meaning that the A value is 2. So that we're done with. Translated 3 units to the right, which means that the h value is going to be +3. So we're done with that right there. And then translated 1 unit up means the k value would be +1. And so those are the transformation values for part A. And so we could take these, plug them in here. So we'd have y equals, the a value is 2. We'll have x minus 3 squared plus 1, like that. So this here ends up being the equation for part A. And then moving on to part B, vertically compressed by 1/3. So we know the A value is going to be 1/3. And then we're told there's a reflection in the x-axis. Okay, another way this could be worded, it could say maybe that the function is opening downwards. But because we're dealing with transformations in words, usually it's going to say just reflected in the x-axis. So reflected in the x-axis, which of these is affected? Well, it's the a value again, and it's a negative value if there's a reflection in the x-axis. And then it's translated 1 unit to the left, meaning the h value is going to be -1, and then the k value is just 0. Right? So we don't even have to worry about it. There's no translation up or down. And so rewriting that general format over here, plugging everything in, we'll have -1/3 for the a value. Now over here, you got to be careful. H is -1, so it's like x minus -1, and then that's going to be squared. And then the k value is just 0, so we don't have to write anything after that. And so simplifying this bracket, minus minus turns into a positive, like that. Okay, so that here ends up being the final equation. So watch out with this h value. Notice the h value is +3, so we end up with a -3. Remember that the signs are changed. And then an h value -1, meaning it's going to the left. Notice it ends up being a +1. We've gone through that in previous videos. Right, so that's the equation for part A. This is the equation for part B.